So you want to know something that helps when you try to do recording? Making sure you have the mic turned on. I just did a little bit more than an hour. A little bit more. And none of it. Damn it. Well, you're going to miss some of the in-game stuff. Sorry. And also the fact that I did gain a few levels. 4. Because I was I was just shy of level 15, I think. No, maybe I wasn't, but it's still, I gained a few levels. And some things I didn't witness. Although, you know what? One I can actually show you, believe it or not. Because there is one. Oh, I didn't expect that to happen. Spawned me at the Enclave. There was actually a side quest here that I didn't see in the other thing, which I do need to mention. So the other character, actually no, it would have been in there. I now have 3 characters because the one I made to just play on my own ran into the level cap of level 40. I did not realize it had level cap of 40, but it did. So that's why I started a third one. That is Lightning and Rogue. So that's gonna be interesting. See how that goes. We also got news for the first content update for this game, saying that it will be soon. And it will include Chapter 2. And, oh, I need to turn that on. And a new region, the northern beaches. So, yeah, that'll be neat. And it will show off, it will give us the reason why the Ichthyans are now attacking, and we'll even get to go after their king, which is kind of nice. I'm going to try to speed through some of the stuff. So yes, this is one of the things I did. Actually, let me go back. I don't know if this will work. We shall see. Go back here. Because I did defeat a boss there. But that boss can be respawned, so let me see if I can do that. Already or not. Because I waited. I waited in the other playthrough. Until I'm beating everything, but now I have a reason to do it again. And even if I can't, I do want to go on to the other one. Yes, use the remnants. Okay, that's all I need to do. Cool. I'm gonna do something else though. Yeah. Sorry, it's a little annoying being this many levels above all my enemies. And the game isn't difficult. Well, it will be for me, but it isn't difficult enough to really demand that. The reason why I said it will be for me is I have not been doing much for health. Alright. There. This actually might be worth it. Well, actually, it might not be. Yeah, it won't be. Because I'm using this predominantly. Anyway, back to the graveyard. So, yeah, I will be able to respawn that guy. There's some mini-bosses before him that I won't be able to, but that's okay. But yeah, so we are going to be getting... It just said soon for when the content update will be coming. But at least that is coming. I hope it's more than just a region, though. Like, I would appreciate probably a new mastery or 2. Or even just filling these out so we've got that top level there. There can be some other changes as well. I should probably explain what this area is. So the 2 that were outside back down... I don't know why I'm doing that. I need to do that. The 2 that were back down here were concerned because apparently in the mythology, in the religion, I don't remember this though. A priestess would have to visit a cemetery and go through a ritual to make sure the dead stay dead. She's not been able to do that because the dead have not been staying dead, and it's just, why are they so upset? It's because this dude, Aristonomes, a former king of the area who fought against the Ichthyans, has been awoken by the presence of the Ichthyans, and he has been incidentally summoning back, raising the dead of fellow warriors to fight the Ichthyans. But one problem is they're just fighting, so they were actually fighting the priestess, a human. So yeah, that's why we kind of need to put them all back down. Yeah. Okay, so I mentioned that stuff. I mentioned the level 40 level... Did I? There's a level 40 level cap, which is, yeah, why I made the third character. I know I said that, but... So, yeah. Hopefully that mails get lifted with the update. We'll see whenever that comes. There was no release date, or even target, just soon. AO Media, the Alliance for Open Media group, that is behind the AV1 codec. They have, well, at least the specification, the reference encoder. It's one of those funny things where they would not be. I mean, yes, typically when you see something like, yes, definitely, I like the health regen. When you see something like a new codec, like AV1, what the specification for it is actually how to decode, so that encoders, I mean, there will also be a reference encoder, but encoders are free to basically do the encoding however they want. Because the way I try to describe it is, it tells you how to understand what the number 4 is, but it doesn't care if you get to 4 by doing 2 plus 2, 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1, 1 plus 3, or 3 plus 1. It doesn't care how you get to that. It just cares that there's a 4 there. Okay, I now know what to do. That's why you can see so many different encoders for different things. But yeah, because it's like all that matters is it produces the bit stream that can be decoded to this according to a certain standard. Unfortunately, while they did announce that, hey, we're going to have that specification ready by the end of the year and released by the end of the year, nothing as far as what actually is going to make this a better standard than AV1. It's just like, it'll be next generation, providing next generation benefits. Okay, what the hell does that mean? Like, the only specifics given, like actual numbers, were just, we surveyed our own members to see how many of them intend to adopt AV2 within the first 1 or 2 years of it being released. It's like, this doesn't matter. I want to know about the codec itself. Because for context, I've been working, because I've got my entire media library processed onto my server. And I, for that, have been using X265. I've also been using AV1, mainly SVT AV1 Psi or Psi X now. So a fork of the SVT AV1 encoder, which SVT is an Intel project, scalable video technology, as I recall. And they have SVT encoders for various codecs. But SVT AV1 gained great success because it was very fast. So that is interesting, because there was like an SVT HEVC, which would be H265. But basically no one uses that. Everybody uses X265 because that is a purely open source, that was community created codec. Well, not exactly community, it's ZIP, which is behind VLC as well. But it's still, they are completely open source. X265 is like, it might not be as fast, but it has far better compression efficiency, so it produces either a better quality image for 265 encoders. My understanding is it produces the best quality image for a given bitrate, or it produces quality images at lower bitrates than any others. So yeah. But SVT AV1, just no other encoder has really been able to match that for its speed, and people decided to just focus on developing that to also provide good quality. In some cases, that meant changing SVT AV1 itself, because it is open source. or they forked it. That's what I've been using, is the SVT AV1 Psi for Psychovisual fork. But despite having worked with it somewhat for, a while, and there still are some cases where X265 will produce a better image at a given bitrate than AV1. It does depend, though. Yeah, can't. Okay. There. But it is still, like, only the latest version of the fork with... there are various features in it that have been... that have been added as part of the fork, and some have actually been then put back, have been mainlined, pulled to the main one. But there are others that are just in the fork that I've got the ability to tune, and I put that in my scripts to be able to tune them, and they can be very powerful. Because there are some ways that AV1 is definitely inefficient. Well, not necessarily inefficient, but makes poor choices as far as what details should and should not be preserved. So, yeah, but with these different knobs there, I can tune it in to be better. Yeah. So I don't know how much I really care about AV2. But it's like, I guess it's good, it's coming. One technology that I'd like to see improved there is, film grain synthesis, which... trying to keep this short, because hopefully I can only hit like half an hour here. We'll see. Film grain is hard to encode because by its nature it is noise. So there's an indefinite pattern there. The idea with film grain synthesis is you remove the film grain either just because the encoder is a lossy encoder and throwing out data, and happens to remove that, or by an actual denoising process. You then have this algorithmically added back in as an overlay. And it's like that's a great idea, but I've not seen it implemented very well. Where some movies or television, the film grain lines up nicely with film grain synthesis, so it meshes well where it's preserved, and where it isn't, it still goes in nicely. But I've also got plenty of things where, no, the film grain is of a completely different size than what film grain synthesis puts in, so it doesn't layer well together, and it doesn't actually put it back in there in a more efficient means. Situations like that, I either need to tune things that throw the bitrate very high, so I need to do things to turn it back down, or I need to just go to X265. But still, I have those different controls in there, so it works out nicely. Okay, so, by the way, I already gave the story. This guy came back because he felt he needed to in order to protect the people, but not really going so well. The funny thing is, this is actually like the boss that I will do boss runs on with the other character. Because he's actually not that difficult. And it's also, it's not so much that he's not difficult, I think, as much as it is he also just has like a good, comfortable arena. Like there's one side boss, completely optional. This guy, he's tied to a side quest, the other isn't. I hate that one thing. It is such a constrained area, and the thing has way too many just like one-shot kind of abilities.
I need to wait.
There. But yeah, so this guy wasn't so bad. And I can actually summon him right again. Ooh. That looks worth it. Cunning. Let me do that for now. That will probably also be worth it. Cunning and agility, which is all off of agility. Don't know about that one. Okay. So, agility of 81. 133 for both. Okay. that was enough. I like it when it works out that way. Okay, so... yeah, so I did that. The other playthrough, it may have taken me a little bit longer. That was mainly, a lot of it was just exploration. I did also have a mission that took me over here, did that, picked up somewhere around, oh, I think it was here, the last thing that I need for this. So I will do that now. Yeah. So AV2 is hopefully going to be good, but I don't know. And it's also, it may be years before I will care. Before we'll reach a state that I would use it for anything. Plus, I don't even know if things will decode it, so there's that too. I mean, it's possible that they will try to have it be enough of a superset as over AV1 that it would be possible for an AV1 decoder to work on AV2. Likely not. So AV1 may be the go-to for a while yet, even if it is a, oh yeah, we're totally going to adopt this. Might be a, no, like, various partner AO media members, which would include Google, so YouTube and Netflix might be like, oh yeah, we'll totally go to this, except, you know, not, because all the old stuff is what everyone can actually use.
It really does look just like Glaukos. Though the sculpture made the eyes look far too stern.
Okay. So I'll just talk to this guy. Oh, that's handy. I just got an attribute point, and that's what I just spent a couple of.
A miracle! The statue is repaired. Oh, it's a miracle. The statue is repaired. Glaukos himself must have repaired his likeness as a sign that he is what...
Normally I go with this one. I want to see what this is.
What? Of course. Glaukos must have worked through you. I only wish he had chosen me. Perhaps if I pray harder.
Yeah, we'll leave you to that. There. I mainly in the previous recording that didn't have the mic. I like a lot of this I hadn't actually visited yet. Where is? I'm trying to think where that other boss is. The one that just kicks my ass. I didn't think it was that far north, but maybe it might be over here. It is right next to a waypoint, though. And I definitely don't see the waypoint for it. Alright, so yeah, the main thing to talk about, and let's see if I can keep this short. I didn't on the last one because I took many tangents. But Intel and NVIDIA have announced a collaboration. And by collaboration, I mean, what it really sounds like is NVIDIA was like, okay, we will give you $5 billion by purchasing stock at this value. We want you to make custom CPUs for us now. Yes. So we'll likely first be x86 CPUs, so Intel CPUs, designed to use NVLink in data centers so that they can have the CPUs and GPUs better communicate for data center uses in AI. This is all for AI. But also, we will see SoCs where they will... It may still be NVLink that does the communication protocol aspects, so software firmware kind of stuff, but it'll likely be Intel's Foveros, I think is what it is. That's what they named it. For actually combining, but putting GPU chiplets with CPU chiplets onto the same substrate. Because that is also part of what was announced. SoCs with NVIDIA RTX GPU chiplets was specifically stated. So that is apparently coming. One thing curious though, and I did see a comment, so from Hot Hardware, they did ask Intel, so what does this mean about Intel Arc, your GPU project? Which I'm pretty sure they started that so that because GPUs are a bit better. A GPU's massively parallel design is a bit better equipped for some machine learning tasks. So that's why they started, so they could compete with AMD and NVIDIA there in data centers. But it's like, this is ARC going to continue because you're being buddy-buddy with NVIDIA on this? And the answer was basically that this complements their current roadmap. So that's a little interesting. Which does... It at minimum implies that, yes, ARC and XE graphics will be continuing, at least for the time being. Hard to say what it will ultimately be in the future, though. One thing I did also see, though, was suggestion might be 2028 before we see some of these products, certainly the SoC, because that's going to take a while. That's likely going to take a while to really get going. I could believe that the data center CPU, that could be done sooner, but it's still going to be a while. One thing, though, that is part of when I went off on, that is kind of funny, because, like, okay, what have been the discussions in AMD concerning this? On the one hand, there's probably this is bad because our two biggest rivals are now working together to compete with us. But I hope that someone else at AMD would be like, in the discussion, yeah, but just consider that they decided they had to team up like this in order to compete with us. Because AMD has all these technologies in-house. I mean, sure, they don't have CUDA, which was the NVIDIA press release. Maybe in the NVIDIA press release that specifically named that that's what's going on, and it's... Yeah, NVIDIA basically has a monopoly with that, because they've managed to get some people to adopt it, even though it's... My understanding is it's not really that great a language. Like, it's lousy to write in, but it just provided such performance for so long, and NVIDIA would throw money and hardware at, like, universities and such to use it, or to use their hardware to... So, yeah, use CUDA, that it's achieved the dominance it has. I don't completely remember on that, but regardless. Well, I guess that's so much for this one. Oh, it won't let me because of where I am. I was trying to summon a portal. But yeah, it's like, this is what they're having to do to compete with just AMD having x86 and having GPUs all in-house. That's... Yeah. That is quite a statement. That AMD may still be in a bad position here because of those two teaming up, but it still is they're teaming up not because it is in their individual best interests, but because it is in their best interest for providing options that to compete with AMD. That's yeah. Oh no, that's the old one. Yeah, I guess I should look at that. Nope. Okay. I want to hit another level, and then I'll probably stop. Well, no. I will stop on this character. I will go to the other so I can show you the one side quest that in fact, I never encountered on that one. So in theory, it's still going to be there. Hope so. In theory, it may be time sensitive, but it also might not be. But yeah, it'll also be interesting with AMD because of the timing here. With AMD is intending to unify their GPU offerings shortly. Instead of it being RDNA and CDNA for graphics and compute respectively, it will be UDNA that's unified. Because every time that either company, because AMD and NVIDIA have been doing this, and even back to the ATI days, I believe, have been doing this for a long time, where they go between a unified and then specialized architectures. And typically they're out of phase with each other. So like when NVIDIA is currently unified, they're going to be changing that shortly. But AMD has been separate. They've had specialized RDNA and CDNA. So yeah, it's just funny how that works out. But AMD is going to unified shortly, and I could believe that might be part of the reason why NVIDIA is choosing to do this, is that may help with them just having the specialized compute stuff there. But it could also be they suspect that UDNA, I keep saying the wrong one. It might prove more than they really thought, or they expect AMD is going to leverage the fact that they also have the Zen CPUs, and will release at the same time as UDNA a new Zen architecture that better connects together with it. Which then could be hey, data center, we can sell you everything you need. Right? We got compute, we got graphics, we got CPU for just general stuff. We've got FPGAs for basically anything you want. We got all that. Neither Intel nor NVIDIA can say that at the level of expertise that AMD has. Yes, Intel technically offers all those same technologies, but Intel does not have the experience, the expertise, I think not even the patents, for the GPUs. I'm not sure about the FPGA stuff. They might. But yeah, it's... And it is also funny because I don't know how large AMD is compared to the other two at this point, but at one point not that long ago, like in the past decade, the NVIDIA R&D budget was greater than the whole of AMD. Like, that's where it was at one point, but they've turned it around such that AMD is a force on its own, has decimated, well, I don't know if they actually have, by the literal definition of decimate, but they have significantly pared back Intel's dominance in, well, every CPU market, data center, and consumer. So yeah, it's wild. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting few years, I think, as we start to see the results of the collaboration come out. Actually, I don't know. If I load up, would that have changed this?
Oh, Kane.
No, that looks the same as what we had before. There. Alright, let's do this stuff. I decided previously to put points into this because Spell Rage grants, but Rage also grants, okay, so it is, I want something that would give Rage. Got it, so, okay. So if I do this, now that will actually pair with this. Let's do that. Yeah, that should be fine. Oh, fit that. And we can put a point there. Okay, so now.
One at a time, please. One at a time.
Okay. Maybe I have to actually hit an enemy?
Don't expect me to give my grain away.
Legitimately, the documentation of the different things in this game could be so much better. Actually, I don't want to do it that way. Let's just go. But yeah, so the next few years, it will be quite interesting. Okay, so there's Rage. And it is coming down, but it does look like it does come from actually hitting things. So... Okay, so all it's doing is just granting that 1%. So it might be something else that would actually... Alright, so the rage isn't all that impressive. At least it's not overload. Overload sucks, because overload actually starts doing damage to you. And I don't care much for that. Yeah.
That was gave most of my...
There, now. Main menu. Let's see if I can do that one. It'll be quick to do, if I can do it. I just don't know if I can. So level 40, max level. So I have... Yeah, still got that. So I have tried to tune my... Okay, it's right over here. This is where that one boss that is a pain in the ass. I hate that thing. I'm not going to go over there. Unless I can... I can, like, low... Well, I can low its level, but I don't want to do that. But yeah, it's a pain in the ass. Oops. Okay, yes, I can. Cool.
I need your help. Issa is ill and won't wake up. She and I went out with the militia gathering herbs for sick refugees. Issa could never... She complained that she'd cut herself by accident on a rock. Then something bit her. She didn't see what it was. But I think it must have been some sort of awful beast attracted by her blood. I just don't know what to do. None of my potions are helping.
Where's Issa? We were meant to meet to handle food distribution for the refuge... Wait, what's wrong with her? What? She was bitten by something? No, it can't be. This is a Gorgon snake. Yes, we need to fix this. Right, but we need to hurry. Once she's turned to stone, she's dead forever. Just like Nysa, I was too late. But you're a fighter, aren't you? A true Gorgon can petrify someone with a sick... When a Gorgon dies, the snakes slither free of its scalp and grow larger.
I'll mark on your map where Issa was bitten. See if you can lure the snake out. Solos, tell me everything you know.
Listen, and listen well. The Ichthians...
I was just trying to remember, what is it that it says I've got for mastery abilities? But no, it's just because I got the 18 divinity points. Because I can't spend them. Both the masteries are maxed up. Or at their maximum, so... Yeah. Yeah, I guess I just never went to that side of the Enclave on this character before, so... Yeah. I know I've been in this cave, though. Yeah, you can see it's on the map already revealed. It's just like, oh, okay, there's a cave here. Didn't know what purpose it had. Now I do. There it is. So, by the way, I do have on this, through the ritual thing, I do have it set so that everything is at level, well, at or at least near level 40. I think at level 40, but plus 2 as well, so it's a higher difficulty. That's why you're seeing things at 42. Let's just warp back. There it is.
You're there! Quit your whimpering.
All quiet, sir. I'll sell you what I can.
Or are you agreed? Well, answer me.
Have you got the snake blood? You're back. Please tell me you showed that awful Fantastic. I have the cure ready. And... ready. All right. Stolos moved Issa to a better bed in his compound. He can actually be quite sweet. Go find Issa in Stolos' compound and give it a...
You know, it's funny. I see some people asking, "Hey, can you turn on a walk?" It's like I'd like an ability to move faster than this.
She hasn't woken up. Oh, God. Maybe...
Issa was always the one cheering folks up when sickness was about. But when she was 12, a fever struck our village. Issa made a little figure of Demeter and a flower crown for everyone who was sick.
That's a lovely story.
All right. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Issa had a crush on a traveling hunter's son.
Don't you dare embarrass me with that story, Thon.
Issa, thank Asclepios.
Okay.
Oh, what happened?
She'll, if you don't do the interaction, she'll still just pop up and do that.
Thank you so much for facing down that awful snake to save me.
One passive point. The hell do I want to spend it on? I think everything is basically the way I want it to be. And it's also, it's not like I can get more points. I'm not even convinced that this is what... Well, I shouldn't put it like that. Yeah, let's do that. Like, I think it's only by vitality damage that I get lifesteal, but I don't know how to really trigger vitality damage, so. But anyway, yeah, so that's been short because, as I already did a lot of this, now realizing I forgot to turn the mic on. Yeah. It's plugged in, but I prefer and do use a condenser mic, which requires phantom power, and I forgot to hit the switch on the audio interface. Well, it happens. Alright. See you next week, where hopefully I won't make the mistake. See you then.